Tonight on CTV News at 5.
Demand actually is always increasing.
The helpers need help too. Charities look for support as donations dwindle after the holidays.
I love doing art because it makes me so happy.
Creative Connections, a special workshop, cultivates art and friendships.
A place like this, I think, is fantastic.
And Game Changer, the home of women's hockey in Canada, has a high-profile visitor.
And flurries may end up mixing with some patchy, freezing drizzle tonight. More wintry mix ahead for Wednesday.
Live from the Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Penopalis. Thank you for joining us. First at 5 tonight, help still needed. The giving season is behind us, but families in our region are still struggling to make ends meet. Charities are finding it harder and harder to keep up with the demand. And while holiday donations went a long way, many Maritimers need a helping hand all year round. As CTV's Emma Convey shows us, the new year brings new challenges for those who need support and those who provide it. Emma.
Hi, Maria. Many nonprofits were grateful for the generosity of Maritimers this holiday season. For some, it sustains them during these less busy donation months, but for others, they need them now to budget the need for the year. Volunteers at Parker Street Food and Furniture Bank are hard at work packing food boxes for families in need. A new year brings new challenges.
Demand actually is always increasing here. I don't know that there's ever a year where we haven't done more than the previous year.
They saw a number of donations through their doors this holiday season, which will sustain them for the next 2 weeks.
Around the middle of January, that does start to dwindle down a little bit, and we start looking for extras like potatoes, carrots, onions, all of the things, the staples that you need to make meals.
Financial donations are in high demand this time of year to fund their emergency program, to pay people's heating and hydro. But they aren't the only ones looking for financial donations.
I'm at the beginning of a new budget year, so I'm kind of back at one, and I don't know how donations are going to look for the rest of 2026. So we have to start out in January a little bit conservatively. So we can't just go crazy shopping because I don't know how much money I'm going to get in. But the demand is just as high.
Around 100 people a week rely on Brunswick Street Mission for meals.
Things like rice, pasta, tomato sauce, tinned soup, tuna fish, peanut butter, and breakfast cereal.
Souls Harbor Rescue Mission says they really saw businesses and companies step up over the holidays and are in good position for 2026. But they do see a dip in donations this month as well.
We basically expect that Christmas donations to lead us into Easter. Another campaign would start at Easter and donations would be picked up again by that time for sure.
Their mission is province-wide. They see about 600 people through their doors a day. The need never seems to slow down.
Cash flow is very important because it allows us to purchase what's needed when it's needed, but obviously any type of donations, whether it's food items, hygiene items, clothing items.
But aside from donations, these organizations are looking for more helping hands. A new year could bring new volunteer opportunities if someone's looking for one. Maria.
That's always a good idea. Thank you, Emma. CTV's Emma Convey for us in the news center this evening. All right, time to head over to the anchor desk now, where Todd Battis is standing by with the headlines. Hi, Todd.
Thank you, Maria. Coming up at 6, a grade 8 student attacked by 3 large dogs while he was riding his bicycle in the community of Welshtown, that's in rural Nova Scotia, has died. The regional school board says the loss will be deeply felt by those at Shelburne Regional High School. We are in the area and we will have more at 6 o'clock. Today was the opening day of a double murder trial in Moncton. Jansen Baker is facing 2 first-degree murder charges in connection with the deaths of Bernard and Rosemarie Saunier. The Crown told the jury today that the gunman went into the couple's home looking to shoot their son. We'll have details from Derek Haggett in your newscast. The situation in Venezuela has caused tension in a country that is popular with many Maritimers every winter, Cuba. Some Cubans were killed in the operation in Venezuela on the weekend. So what does that mean, given the foreign policy now of the United States, for those who may want to visit Cuba this winter? We'll take a look at that in your newscast. Right now, let's take a look at the weather board. Kayla Mitchell standing in front of it, and boy, those numbers have really turned around.
Yeah, the bite has really come out of the air for parts of the Maritimes today as we check in on temperatures moving into this evening. The most moderation in that colder air happened around southern areas of New Brunswick, right down around the Bay of Fundy coastline and parts of mainland Nova Scotia, where some communities right now have some temperatures sitting in the range around -2 to +2. Now, there are still other parts of the region that are what I would describe as chilly to cold, including Cape Breton, Prince Edward Island, and especially colder up in the northern areas of New Brunswick, where it's sitting between -8 and -11, though not as cold as the past couple of days have been. Checking in on the winds around the region, they're mostly out of the east and southeast. They're fairly light, in a lot of cases being sustained between 5 and 15 kilometers per hour. There are some coastal winds from the southwest of Nova Scotia, a little bit higher than that, including at Lunenburg, where a wind is being sustained near 24 kilometers per hour. No gusts to show you at this hour. As we take a look at things on radar and satellite, we've had some scattered flurries. We've had an area of light snow that's drifted its way across western areas of Nova Scotia throughout the day. It did bring in some localized snowfall totals between around 1 and 5 centimeters. As we move through this evening and tonight, remaining scattered flurries in the Maritimes during the overnight hours may begin to mix with a little bit of patchy freezing drizzle, and that is ahead of the wintry mix that's in the forecast for tomorrow. That system making its way through southern Ontario. And we have a special weather statement that's been issued across the southern half of New Brunswick as well as into Cumberland and Colchester counties. Potential for an extended period of freezing rain and some snow, 5 to 15 centimeters. I'll have more on that when I'm back a little bit later on. Maria.
Lots to talk about. We'll see you in just a bit. Caitlin, right now, though, Hope for Wildlife was busier than ever in 2025. CTV's Mike Lamb met with founder Hope Swinimer to talk about what's ahead for the Animal Rescue Center.
Jesse.
We had an amazing year in 2025 at Hope for Wildlife. And first off, thank you to everybody that supported us and helped us out, made donations. It's very much appreciated for us to be able to do this work that we do. We saw over 6,600 patients this year alone. About 63% of them were birds and the rest were mainly mammals. But of course, we have reptiles and amphibians and a little bit of everything thrown in there. We had a lot of really great highlights this year. One thing that we accomplished was we got a new turtle trauma center built. And we got it open late August and we had over 150 patients just come in after the opening. It's a beautiful facility, one of a kind in Nova Scotia. We'll be able to help all injured turtles. A lot of them get hit by cars. We finally got permission to go forward slowly with the black bear rehab possibilities, and we're very much looking forward to that.
Wetlands are some of the richest and most vibrant habitats in Nova Scotia.
Another thing we've always wanted to do is take part in children's education, and we got accepted into grade 4 study works, and we're part of the curriculum for grade 4 this year, which is really exciting for us. And it's been a goal of mine for 30 years. And this year we prepared the data that would meet the criteria for the school system for grade 4 students. And they will take part in this curriculum in grade 4, and it will be a big part of their daily classroom work. Another thing we've done to not only help the animals in Nova Scotia to get them into us quicker, it will help the volunteers too. We've created a new app and we've been running with it for over just a year now. So when volunteers sign up to help us anywhere in Nova Scotia, we post up all the injured animals. They can respond whether they're willing to go and pick up that animal. It just helps get those animals in for medical care quicker. Let's always think about our wild world. If you have conflicts, if you have questions, don't hesitate to call us. And again, a big thank you to everybody that made 2025 possible.
Oh, and thank you, Hope, for all the work that you do. All right, time for our first break here on CTV News at 5. But first, a preview of a couple of the stories still to come.
I'm Avery McCrae in St. John here at Creative Connections, an art studio uptown where adults with intellectual disabilities can come together to create art and be a part of the community. We will paint you the picture, so keep it here on CTV News at 5.
Hi, my name is Brittany Burke. I am the co-owner and founder of Just Cycle in downtown Halifax. Check us out on CTV at 5 p.m. to talk about the Elizabeth Fry Society private ride we have this Saturday. Be sure to check it out and also come ride.
Welcome back. For adults with an intellectual disability, it can be a challenge to find a sense of belonging in the community. As CTV's Avery McCrae reports, in Uptown St. John, Creative Connections has come up with a way to foster both works of art and friendship.
Whoa! That looks so good.
If you're on the hunt for a new piece of art to hang in your house, look no further than the works from the 16 talented artists at Creative Connections.
Creative Connections are a really good place and makes me inspired of doing some artwork.
At this uptown studio, art and friendships bloom. Members bond while creating vibrant and unique pieces for sale.
Sometimes the world can be really isolating, especially for people with any kind of a difference. And having Creative Connections means that the people who come here get to build real meaningful friendships across difference.
What are you working on?
A very sentimental picture.
Patrick McGrath has been creating here since the program began nearly a decade ago. For him, the art comes second.
Meeting all sorts of friends, and the fact that each person has a unique personality and a unique feature.
Artist Carla Simmons loves to knit and create with clay, but like McGrath, it's the friendships that keep her coming back.
I like the new friends from here.
Greg Gillies-Mott says it's the relationships that have made the program such a success for nearly a decade.
When people build relationships across difference, when people can feel a sense of belonging and being themselves, it makes the world a better place.
Making art side by side while connecting to the community and each other.
For lots of them, it's the only place that they go independently to be with friends who otherwise wouldn't have access to friendship that can really change their lives.
And that may be the true masterpiece of the program. Avery McCrae, CTV News, St. John.
Thank you, Avery. That story made me very happy.
Yeah.
Beautiful smiles, beautiful art, a happy environment.
That's a wonderful thing about art. It can be so inclusive, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Love that. All right, you know what else we're all talking about these days is what a change it's been in the last 24 hours in the weather department, hey?
Yeah, certainly this afternoon, parts of the Maritimes were a fair bit milder than they were going back to Monday and this past weekend. That did include and around the St. John area for today. There are parts of the region, though, that are still in for a colder evening, colder night. We've got that wintry mix coming up tomorrow. I'll have more on that after the break.
Welcome back. Kaylin Mitchell joins us now. Kaylin, what a difference a day makes. I had a chance to get out for a very short yet very pleasant walk today.
Yeah, you could maybe take off one layer, maybe two, compared to what you were dressing up for the weather conditions the weekend and into the start of this past week. Not everybody got into the milder weather, though. There were still colder parts of the region. We'll talk about that as we go through our forecast here. In the meantime, though, we're going to go to a view at Terrence Bay Lighthouse in Nova Scotia, and you can see some snowflakes flying there. There were some areas of some light snow and some flurries working their way through the region for today. In some cases, it led to some snowfall amounts around 1 to 5 centimeters. For other parts, though, where temperatures like Maria was talking about became a little bit milder throughout the day, there was a good deal of melting of that snow as it came down towards the ground. Now, on our weather systems map, barometric pressure is going to be falling as we move through tonight into tomorrow at the approach of a low pressure system out of southern Ontario. This has brought a lot of freezing rain through parts of southern Ontario. Freezing rain warnings were issued in that part of the country, and it is expected to bring us a wintry mix of weather here in the Maritimes for tomorrow with a mixture of snow, freezing rain, and rain. Taking a look at things on radar right now, the flurries that we're seeing ahead of that weather system shouldn't amount to much as we move through this evening and tonight. However, during the overnight hours, there is a risk of a little bit of patchy freezing drizzle mixing with those flurries. And while it's not likely to lead to a lot of ice accumulation in most cases, it could make things a little bit slick here and there for first thing tomorrow morning, and then more of a slick mix of weather developing throughout the day on Wednesday. So taking a look at our forecast timeline for cloud cover and precipitation, heading through tonight, it's going to be cloudy, some scattered flurries, and a chance of some patchy freezing drizzle. And then through the morning hours of Wednesday, we see this mixture of snow, freezing rain, and rain develop. It is likely to start off as at least some accumulating snow in the province of New Brunswick, possibly even Prince Edward Island and parts of the north and east of Nova Scotia before the turnover to freezing rain and rain. Now, the risk of freezing rain will be greatest Wednesday morning through Wednesday afternoon into the early evening in southern areas of New Brunswick, especially from the Bay of Fundy coastline up towards Fredericton. For northern and eastern areas of Nova Scotia at higher terrain, and Wednesday evening for parts of Prince Edward Island. Then during Wednesday night, as temperatures come back down, those areas seeing freezing rain will likely turn over to an additional period of some accumulating snow. That will include New Brunswick and Prince Edward Island, parts of the north of Nova Scotia. As for the remainder of Nova Scotia, this weather system is expected to turn over to some rain and rainfall amounts of around 5 to 15 millimeters. Now, areas of the region that could pick up some snow out of this weather system include northern areas of New Brunswick, where it looks like it'll be mostly a lighter snow with some amounts of between around 2 and 5 centimeters. Potential, though, of some higher snowfall amounts right around the southeastern corner of New Brunswick, including Moncton, could be 5 to 10 centimeters there, as well as through parts of Cumberland County and western parts of Prince Edward Island. Remember, though, any areas that do see some accumulating snow, you could also see some freezing rain mix in with it, creating some slick conditions. So taking a look at the forecast for the winds for tomorrow, the good news with this weather system is the winds aren't particularly strong. They'll be out of the east Wednesday afternoon with some gusts between 20 and 40 kilometers per hour. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight, still on the colder side. For northern areas of New Brunswick, there are some lows tonight between -10 and -16. Much of the rest of the Maritimes tonight looking at low temperatures between around 0 and -6, so getting down to around -8 for Sydney and Cape Breton. And here's a look at the high temperatures for tomorrow. So getting on the plus side of the scale for Nova Scotia, parts of the Bay of Fundy coastline in New Brunswick, that's where the most rain out of this weather system is expected, and then around or just below freezing for other parts of the region, and that's where it'll be that mixture of snow and freezing rain. All right, let's take a look at our Weather Watcher for tonight. And tonight's Weather Watcher is coming in from 7-year-old Meadow Saulnier from Yarmouth, Nova Scotia. Meadow has sent us a drawing of playing outside with her puppy on a nice snowy day. Thank you, Meadow. And Weather Watchers can come into CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or email kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you, Kaylin. So Halifax Spin Studio has set the stage for a fundraising event in support of a local nonprofit. As CTV's Vanessa Wright shows us, all proceeds will go toward a worthy cause.
It's an empty room now, but by Saturday, this spin studio will be packed with people getting their sweat on for a good cause. It's all thanks to a partnership that will support the Elizabeth Fry Society, a nonprofit that helps women and girls affected by the justice system.
It's folks who are leaving incarceration or have been criminalized and are looking to rebuild their lives.
They provide housing and other programs for those impacted. In their latest fundraising effort, they've teamed up with Just Cycle in downtown Halifax.
I think it's really nice when people can support an organization that speaks true to them while also getting an activity in for themselves. Especially because we're in a society that always tells us to put ourselves last, but it's a nice combination of being able to support for people within our community, but also look after our own mental health and well-being at the same time.
All proceeds from the class will go towards grocery gift cards for clients at the society.
Following the holidays in particular can be a really difficult time, so we want to make sure our clients have something to help them get through this period.
The class is more than 50% full, but they hope for a complete sellout come Saturday. And if you've never done spin before, owner Brittany Burke says it's beginner friendly.
You do not need to be a certain fitness level to do it, to enjoy it. It's all about having fun, enjoying the experience, and also meeting new people. I think just as adults, that's always a new challenge for everyone. So I think coming to an experience like this, you have one common ground, which is the passion for the organization or for moving your body.
A win-win for everyone involved. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Halifax.
Looks like fun and a great cause, too. All right, time for a break here on CTV News at 5. But first, a preview of our next story.
I'm Ryan McDonald outside the Keogh Forum at Cape Breton University, where the only all-girls hockey rink of its kind in the country got a visit today from the wife of Prime Minister Mark Carney. Diana Fox-Carney played hockey herself at the university level and had some thoughts today on whether the PWHL ought to expand to the Maritimes. The story is coming up.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. What have you been putting off for way too long? We want to talk about that tomorrow at 7.
And Password to Paradise. We're getting ready to reveal the location for our broadcast in your trip. That's coming up on Friday.
Welcome back. So the only all-girls rink in the country had a special guest hit the ice today, the Prime Minister's wife, Diana Fox-Carney. As CTV's Ryan McDonald shows us, while she was there to support growth of the women's game, she also weighed in on the Maritimes having its own PWHL team.
When members of the Cape Breton Blizzard female hockey program hit the ice this afternoon at the Keogh Forum, they were joined by the Prime Minister's wife, who once played for Oxford University back home in England.
Our practice time was, I think, 1 till 2 a.m., so not the best practice time.
At ice time, that reflected having to settle for whatever was left after the men were finished playing. Diana Fox-Carney couldn't have fathomed back then skating in a rink like this one that is entirely set aside for women's and girls hockey.
You're right, you said, did you imagine it could be different? And I guess I probably didn't imagine. You know, I always thought we'd be picking up the leftovers, but not anymore.
Since this newly renovated rink at Cape Breton University opened at the start of this season, the girls here have had a first-rate facility to play in, the only one quite like it in the country. This evening, Fox-Carney will be dropping the puck before a pre-tournament game here at the Keogh Forum between Switzerland and Sweden, who are here for the World Women's Under-18 Hockey Championship, an event that gets underway here on Cape Breton Island in just a few days.
It's going to be a bit of a girls hockey festival this weekend.
Welcoming Team Canada and the rest of the world will be a cherry on top for female hockey on the island, which has grown leaps and bounds in recent years.
The last 5 years have been a whirlwind, from forming in 2020 to growing from essentially 10 teams and 150 players to over 425 players, and now having our own home arena and hosting the Women's Worlds U18s. It's been an incredible journey.
Fox-Carney, meanwhile, says she's a fan of the Professional Women's Hockey League, and with the PWHL playing a game in Halifax last month, what does she think of the idea of league expansion to here in the Maritimes?
I think it's high time for a PWHL team this side of the country. That would be great. I mean, you're not far from Boston and New York, and it makes sense to me. I don't know what the politics are, but I think it would be great. Is there a chance of that? Hope.
For now, the hope is to keep growing the women's game, and a visit like today's certainly didn't hurt. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Oh, certainly helping to grow the game. Very nice. Looks like a lot of fun and high time.
Yeah. And what did they say? Up over 425 players?
Isn't that amazing?
No,
That's it. Like tripled or quadrupled since they first started. Outstanding.
Absolutely. Yeah. So along with some moderating temperatures headed our way over the next several days, there is a bit of a wintry mix to talk about for tomorrow, with some areas potentially getting into a mixture of some snow and some freezing rain. So I'm going to be talking more about that about 6. It's not the worst weather system we've had come through this season, Maria, but it could make it slick for some areas.
Okay, thank you, Kaylin. We'll see you at 6. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night. The national news is next.